Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the vlog. I'm tuning in from this beautiful place in Austin, Texas, my house for 2 months. It's funny how things work out. I booked this place for a month, and the moment I got here I just knew I didn't want to move again, and this was it. You can just see the beautiful grass and you can probably hear the birds. By the way, I'm just holding my phone to record the audio because I'm waiting on a new mic and I can't find my usual lapel mic. So sorry, Mark. Mark's my editor. Because he was on me last week about the audio being a bit off. So I've ordered a new Rode mic and getting all the gear. On that, it's interesting because years ago when I started a vlog, Mark was this guy who I ended up flying around the world with me, and he vlogged all my stuff for me. You guys can go and look on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube already, you're probably seeing it, but I traveled the world and vlogged all this crazy stuff with Mark, and Mark lives in Austin and he's editing these vlogs for me. So fuck yeah, Mark, I love you, bro. It's just funny how things work out like that. And back then I got all the equipment sorted, and I had all the fancy equipment and then started vlogging. And this time I just decided to get going. I just wanted to actually share what's on my heart and share some insightful things that hopefully will help you as well. So, honestly, I thought about putting on some clothes, but this is my legit Monday morning right now. I'm wearing my toe spacers. Sorry for people who hate feet. And just chilling here in the sun. And if I'm being really honest, I didn't actually want to film this today. I woke up feeling a bit off. I've had really bad allergies over the weekend, crying, sneezing, so much. And just had some weird dreams last night, just not feeling the best. And obviously that happens, right? I'm speaking to you, you're a fellow human, you know what I'm talking about. But I think it's just recognizing for me the power of commitment, and I committed to film this every week, and I set it up in a way that someone else was editing it, not because we're doing anything fancy with it, but just because it needs a few cuts, and it means that the money came out of my account today to pay for him to do this. So it's forcing myself to actually follow through on my word. And I do that a lot in my life, honestly, just because I think we can all be our own worst enemy in terms of what we want to do, especially if you get to a point in life where you actually have choice. Especially if you get to a point in life where you actually really necessarily don't have to work, or don't have to work super hard. And that is my reality right now. I'm very blessed, very, very blessed and fortunate. And that can be a trap in and of itself, once you have everything you need, the ability to stay motivated and keep creating. I think it requires some mostly intrinsic and some extrinsic motivation. So yeah, but it also just reminded me as well, I woke up feeling weird and off. And so, instead of getting to it and meeting up with Taylor, my girlfriend, and just doing things like that, I just wanted to take some time to myself. And I realized how often in my life I didn't do that. And as an entrepreneur, how often entrepreneurs don't do that we just keep pushing through things. And I'm realizing today, as I was reflecting, that the absence of stopping and filling my own cup, in the absence of that, I'll actually look for the source of my problem, my internal problem, everywhere else. So I'm feeling off. And so instead of if I don't go within and fill my own cup and lay in the sun and just breathe, I'll go looking for the problem everywhere else, in my business, in my relationship, in my family, in my relationship with my son's mother, lots of different things. And I think that that's common of entrepreneurs, but I think it's especially common of men, because we're usually not as good or as embodied as just taking time for ourselves. And women often recharge around other women, and men do too with other men, but there's something about And man, I think that we need like our own downtime, and we need that kind of space. So I'm taking that and just wanted to offer that to you as an invitation to really consider like where you create problems in your life because you're looking for the source of an internal problem externally. I can end it there. I think that's a really valuable vlog. I think that's a really valuable share and just a profound insight, for me to be reminding myself of this morning. Because it's honestly so fucking true. Like, we just overcomplicate things so much. I overcomplicate things so much at times, and I have so often in my life. And I think my life is better now than it used to be, not because of any external thing, but because I'm choosing to be with myself more and in a more intimate, peaceful way. Yeah. That right there. The funniest thing about sharing on video like this is just having a conversation with myself out loud on my porch. There's like a house across the road and just people walking, and it's kind of fun. I actually like expressing myself in this way. I really enjoy it. And something that I'm realizing is I've struggled with social media for a long time, because I've tried to I'm not expressing this part of myself first. So it's like the smaller bits actually become easier. The 90-second reels and stuff like that become easier when I let myself speak like this and just flow. So, there's so much on the internet now about like keeping people's attention and all of that sort of stuff. And I think that that's important to understand. But at the same time, like, fuck, just do it for you. I'm doing this for me. As much as I want this to help people, I'm really doing it for me. So, So I've landed in Austin. I'm here, just checking my notes. And, one thing I noticed straight away, especially, I'm like a small town boy, really. Grew up in Perth, Western Australia, 1.8 million people, something like that. And it's just like a small town, there's not a lot going on. Although it's a great place, a beautiful city. And I just noticed the first thing coming here is like, Taylor's got so much on her schedule, or just things available to her. And I noticed my energy wanting to like pull back very quickly and just really protect my energy. That's my initial instinct. And so I'm realizing that I get to find the balance between doing what is naturally good for me and really staying in my own lane and just like focusing on my own time and XYZ, and then also saying a balance of that and saying yes to things that I wouldn't usually say yes to, because I'm obviously here to create, well, maybe that's not obvious, but I'm here to create a new experience for myself. So yeah, that's kind of it. And I just realized like there's so much choice here, it could be overwhelming. And I'm just feeling glad that I'm attuned enough to my own needs that I can really like dial in and be like, you know what, this is what I need right now, and this is what feels good, and I'm gonna just stay in my own lane and just do what feels good, and trust that I'll make friends that way, and that I don't have to be inauthentic and go to things that don't feel authentic to me to go to just to make friends, because that's often a thing in a new city. But yeah, it's really that balance for me. I'm navigating in the moment, finding that balance of there's a bee on my coffee in this. Whoa, dude. Okay, I mean, bees are super friendly. When I have my own place, like permanently, I want to get a big bit of land. I want to get beehives and have all kinds of critters on the property, and just like fruit trees and vegetables, grow my own food, have my own cows, chickens. It's basically, I want to farm. That's what I just said. I'm going to be Alex the farmer. That's what I want. But Tay and I talk about it all the time, like having a little farm and just, like waking up and just feeling having the spaciousness of your own land. And I think that's a real dream of mine. So I'm going to create that in the next 2 years or so. But in this coffee is, it's like a mushroom coffee from Super Dose or something like that. It's got lots of adaptogens, grass-fed butter, C8 MCT oil, the brain octane oil from Bulletproof. And then I also have some deer antler, which is a really powerful natural supplement. The deer's antlers fall off every season. The male deer antlers fall off. The male's deer's antlers fall off at the end of every mating season. And then they start to grow again. And the reason they fall off is because they don't have a need for them anymore. They're like, oh, we've finished mating. There's no need to fight. I just found that really fucking amazing when I heard that at a zoo here recently, a few months ago. I thought that was amazing. And so what happens is people humanely harvest the antlers, like they pick them up and they powder them, and it's a humongous testosterone booster. Like if you want, to feel like rock solid down there, this is going to help you. Amazing. So yeah, I take that from time to time because it feels good. And just a bit of Celtic sea salt. So that's what's in my coffee. I'm feeling complete with this video. I just really appreciate you tuning in. I'd love to know what questions you have, and I'm going to answer them in next week's episode. Just drop them in the comments. So I actually forgot to answer a question from one of my last vlogs. And this question was actually from my beautiful girlfriend, Taylor. Thanks for supporting me always. Really, genuinely. Feels really good to have your support. And she asked, what are some strategies I use to get out of my own way? And so I think the key here is first of all, just to be aware, create awareness about where you're in your own way. And usually that starts by looking at what do I want and what do I want versus what I have right now. And how do I want to express myself and what do I want to feel in my life versus how I feel now. And then we can start to break that down and look at it. So for instance, if I said, I want to have $1 million and I want to be incredibly happy and have a wife and a loving relationship and a sexy car. And then it's okay, what of that I have and what I don't have? And, then it's okay, if we look at the part where it starts to, just start with the relationship, because that's a really easy one to look at. I want to have a beautiful wife and a beautiful family. Okay, well, who do I believe I need to be in order to have that? Who do I believe I need to be in order to have that? The answer to that question is often a block. It's a block and an answer in one, okay? Because the truth is that who do I believe I need to be in order to have that is revealing potentially areas that you feel deficient in that you actually get to step into. And also it reveals a limitation on who you believe you have to be in order to have anything / something. So in my past, a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe, I had a call with, my coach Preston at the time, and was really working on the fact that I believed I needed to have a certain amount of money in order to have the relationship I wanted, because I needed to provide everything. And I believed that if I didn't provide everything, I felt weak inside and I couldn't reveal weakness, X, Y, Z. So that was a limitation in the fact that I kept pushing love away because I didn't have the bank account that I wanted, right? It was some imaginary multi-million dollar number in my bank account in cash. And it also reveals a actual desire that I do want to be the provider for my family. I do want to be the provider for my wife, my future wife. I do want to be an amazing provider, not because it will make me feel better about myself, because I want to genuinely experience that. I'm such a generous person in my heart. So yeah, I think I'll just share that for now. I think that's probably been enough and helped. And then obviously you can start to tune in and work on those things. But yeah, I think the main thing about getting out of your own way as well is just what does life want to create through you, and letting that come through instead of what you think in your mind needs to be there, or how you need to express yourself, or who you think you should be. Let life take its course through you. There's an expression of your soul that wants to come through. And that's what we mean when What's what I mean when I say uniqueness. Everyone has this unique expression that wants to come through in its own quirky, weird way. And when we can be in that, we're living in the embodiment of our truth, and that's when we radiate abundance, truth, and we become a magnet to everything that we want and more. We become a magnet to what is beyond our our conscious awareness of what's meant for us. And I truly believe that blessings and abundance are meant for everyone on this earth, at least in some lifetime. But yeah, that's this week's vlog. Peace out.